Good morning, everyone. In last class, I discussed about the rules of voices and some other conditions of voices. Today, I am going to discuss some example of changing voice of variety tenses. These are the examples. Here contains all the parts of tenses, which are divided into 12 parts. Means we got that there are 3 parts of tense. Again, each and individual part of tenses are divided into 4 parts. So we will get 12 parts of tenses. And here we will discuss about the parts of tenses. First sentence: he likes fruits. He likes fruits. Here he is subject. I told that before going to say any kind of voice, first of all we have to identify what is subject, what is verb, and what is object. In this sentence, he is subject, likes is verb, and fruits is object. And this is an example of simple present tense because here after verbs here he has added. So this is an example of active voice. If we turn into passive form of voice, then what we have to implement? We have to implement the rules. Means past rules, subject, object, or interchangeable. Here fruits is object. So in case of passive voice, first of all we have to write fruits. Then we have to use the appropriate verb because this is an example of simple present tense. So here we have to put are. Fruits is plural number, so are. Fruits are. Then we have to write the main verb. What is the third form according to rule of changing voice from active to passive? Here liked will be liked. Fruits are liked. Then we have to use by preposition by. He will be him. Means its answer will be fruits are liked by him. It is the second example. They play football every day. This is another example of simple present tense. A day is subject, day is verb, football is object, and every day is time. Here we have to first put the object football. Then it is an example of simple present tense. So here we have to put each football is, then play third form of verb played by them. They will be them. Every day time will be the last part of the sentence. Next example: I am reading a book. I am reading a book. This is an example of present continuous tense. Okay, here am is here and after verb and here. So in case of present continuous tense, regarding changing a voice from active to passive, what we get? What we have to use? Am being is being are being. Here I is subject, am is verb, read plus and main verb plus and a book is object. Okay. If we change the voice by using the particular rules, what we have to do? First of all, we have to write a book. A book is being read third form verb, read by me. Likewise, in for example, the boys are cleaning the room. Now, here the boy subject, are is verb, clean plus and main verb plus and the room object. Now it's time. Here also we have to first put the object, the room. This is an example of present continuous tense. So here what we have to use? Am being, is being, are being. Here the object is the room here. So the room is being cleaned, third form of verb cleaned by the boys. Time now. Means the answer will be the room is being cleaned by the boys now. Next example: Rina has done the sum. This is an example of present perfect tense. So in case of present perfect tense, what we have to use? Have been or has been. But here, what is the subject here? What is the object here? The sum. So after the sum, we have to use has been. So what is the answer? The sum has been done. Verb is given in third form done. So it will remain same. Done by Rima. In next example, we have finished the work just now. Here, who is subject, have, verb, finished third form of verb, the work object just now this time. Here we have to put first, according to condition, we have to first put the object, the work. Then after the work, what verb we have to use? Has been, because this is an example of present perfect tense. The work has been finished, third form of verb is given. So we have to write the same verb, finished by us. Us, then time. His answer will be the work has been finished by us just now. Next example: he wrote this letter last night. Okay, this is an example of simple past tense. Regarding simple past tense, what verb we have to use? Was and were. Now, what is the subject here? He wrote second form of verb. This letter, this one object, last night is style. So what we have to do in case of changing it to passive form voice, first of all we have to write a letter is an object. Letter, then what we have to use? The letter is simple number. So watch. The letter was right part form of verb written. Right wrote written by him last night. You received a parcel yesterday. You received a another example of simple past tense. So here we have to say utilize the same condition. Here the parcel is object, so parcel you have to write in passive voice. The part of the sentence, the parcel was received by you times yesterday. Means your answer will be the parcel was received by you yesterday. Then the teacher was teaching mathematics. This is an example of past continuous tense. In case of past continuous tense, we got that we have to use was being, where being, be verb. So if we change it to active passive form voice from active, what is the answer? Then mathematics is the object here. So mathematics. Then mathematics was being taught. Teacher teaching. This verb is taught form verb. Mathematics was being taught by the teacher. Okay. Next example. The students were learning grammar then. This is another example of past continuous tense. So in this case also we have to use the same conditions for we written in example number 9. Okay. Then what is the answer? Here grammar is object. So we have to write first grammar. Grammar was being learned. Third form verb. Grammar was being learned by the students then. Okay. And next example, she had done the work. This is an example of past perfect tense. So in case of past perfect tense, regarding changing a voice from active to passive, then you have to use had been be verb. So what is the answer here? The work had been done is given in third form, so that will remain same. Done by her. Okay. Then the answer will be the work had been done by her. Raman had concluded the lesson. Here the lesson will be, we have to write fast here. The lesson had been concluded by Raman. Simanto will solve the problem shortly. Here is an example of future indefinite tense. So in case of future indefinite tense, regarding changing a voice from active to passive, we have to use will be, shall be. So here, what is the object here? Problem. So after problem, we have to use will be. The problem will be solved. Third form of verb solved by Simanta shortly. He will be continuing it. This is an example of future continuous tense. And in case of future continuous tense, what verb we have to use? Will be, shall be. So what is the answer here? It will be being continued by him. Okay. It will be being continued by him. These are the examples of changing voice of variety tenses. And now I am going to teach you some voices from sentences. Some voices from sentences. Do you know what is sentence? What are the kinds of sentence? Do you know? Who can say? Who can say? Okay. Sentence are divided into categories I already discussed in last classes. Now I am going to discuss some voices, some examples of voices from integrated sentence. Regarding integrated sentence, in case of voices, what condition you have to follow, what are the rules you have to follow. I given some examples here. So through this example, I will try my best to make you understand properly. Okay, first of all, before going to teach you, before going to discuss about the voice of integrated sentence, I like to say, in case of voice, the format will be both in passive and active form will remain same. That will its pattern will never be changed. Suppose, for example, who painted the walls? Okay, here. This is an example of integrated sentence, no doubt. Here, W is question mark. We started with W is question mark. This is an example of simple past tense. Where look, in case of sentence, in case of voice sense regarding sentences, we have to identify two things. First of all, the sentence is given in which sentence, and that sentence is given in which tense. Both we have to identify first. Then we have to proceed to solve it. Here, if we it is a rule that if we get who, then in case of passive form voice, we have to write by whom instead of who. So here we says by whom. Then we have to say the object. What is the object here? The was. The was written. Okay. By whom? The was. By whom was. Sorry. Here we were product. Because this is an example of simple past tense. Because this is an example of simple past tense. So in case of simple past tense, we have to use was where we were. So what is the object here? The was. So the was. So after the was the plural form, so here we have to write where, by whom, where the was painted. So this is the passive form voice of who painted the walls. And second example, where did you finish? Where did you find my pen? Where did you find my pen? Here also we have to choose the object. Object my pen is an object. So where did you mention? This is an example of did here. So this is an example of interrogative sentence but simple past tense. So here we have to put was the word, where was, then object my pen, third form verb found by you. Okay. This is an example of second example of interrogative sentence. And third one, but because these two examples are different from those two examples, because that two interrogative sentences are started with WS question mark, but this particular following two examples are started with helping verb or auxiliary verb. If we discuss the third example, was he watching TV? Was he watching TV? No doubt it is an example of interrogative sentence, but it is an example of interrogative sentence of which tense? Past continuous tense, because was here and after verb is here, but it is an example of interrogative sentence. But in case of make it to passive form voice, what we have to write? In case of, we know that in case of past continuous tense, we have to use was being, where being, be verb, but the format will remain same, I told you. So here we have to write first watch, then object TV, being, was start from a verb by him. Do you like such films? Such films, this is another example of interrogative sentence, but this is an example of interrogative sentence of simple present tense. Here it started with do. Okay, so in such cases, regarding simple present tense, we got that we have to use am is our verb. So what is the object here? Such films. This is given in plural form. So here we have to start with are auxiliary verb or helping verb. Are, then object such films like third form verb like by you. These are the examples of interrogative sentence of changing voice from active to passive. Now I am going to turn my view to changing voice of imperative sentence. Imperative sentence. Do you know what is imperative sentence? Do you know? Can you say what is imperative sentence? Who can say? Can you say what is imperative sentence? I told it, I discussed in last class that imperative sentence signify three things: order, request, and advice. Okay. Now I take some examples to discuss about changing voice of imperative sentence. I will try to make the concept understanding properly the concept. Okay. First of all, if I take some example of order, from order to the sum, is an example of order. In case of order, what you have to use? Let be. Okay. Let be. Here, do the sum. Do the sum is object here. So let the sum. Let here written. First let written, then the object written, then be the third form of verb. Means do the sum is active voice and passive part will be let the sum be done. Secondly, clean the room. This is another example of imperative sentence of order from. Here also we have to use let the room, or the room is object here. So be, let be we have to use regarding such cases, and then clean, third form verb clean. Third example, go there. Here object is no here. Okay, there is no any object. So in that case where we will not get object in case of imperative sentence of order form, then we have to direct write you are ordered to go there. For example, do your duty regularly. This is another part of imperative sentence, but it signifies advice. So here you have to write you are advised to do your duty regularly. You are advised to do your duty regularly. And next one, don't be too tired. This is another example of advice form of imperative sentence. So here also we have to write you are advised not to. Here we written not to because here don't. Here this start with negative form. Okay. So here we written passive form voice. We written not to. So what is the answer? You are advised not to waste your time. The next example, please help her. This is another example of imperative form from request part. So in case of request, when we get please or kindly, directly we have to write you are requested. And you are requested and other will remain same. What is the answer? You are requested to help her. Means instead please we have to write in passive form voice, we have to write you are requested, then other part we have to write same. You are requested to help her. Last example, kindly go there. These are another example of imperative sentence from request part. So in case also, I told you that when we get please or kindly, we have to implement the same condition. So in case also, we have to use instead kindly, we have to write you are requested to go there. These are the concept of today's class. What we discussed first, we discussed the changing voice from variety tenses, variety tenses. Then secondly, we discussed some examples from sentences like interrogative sentence, imperative sentence, and what are left today I will discuss in my next class. Thank you.